David, I know you didn't expect to beat Arsenal tonight, but the tactics looked all over the place. Kante's pressing and leaving holes. He's starting some of the wrong people. Aubameyang pulled out the cold for some psychological warfare that it might get under the skin of Gunners. Lampard now is 6-0, 6 games. Sorry, 0-6, 6 games, no wins, 6 defeats. Surely, I mean, talk to me about the game first of all. How bad was it, or is this just a case of Lampard's got to be sacked tonight?
I mean, Lampard could be sacked tonight. I don't really care. It's the issue. Like, what am I sacking him for? Unless literally Poch comes in tomorrow, I see no point. We're not going to get relegated. We're not going to do anything. Like, the game is pretty mute because the game is the same as it is always. Oh, we played well in patches. Could have got battered. Didn't get battered. Actually scored a goal tonight, which that shocked me a lot because I left the room to get dinner and then I saw a notification on my phone 3-1. I was like, oh, we scored a goal. Oh, it's the little wins. We actually scored tonight. But yeah, overall, I mean, there's not much to say. I'm just focused on next season. There's like I'm here showing face because I feel like I owe Terry a bit of my time just to show my face and say like Chelsea are here. But there's nothing else for me to talk about because it is what it is right now. Like, bro, there's just nothing else.
I hear you. And out of your football depression, don't down that dilute and orange without putting water in it first. It's on your sink, bro. Don't do it to yourself. Don't do it.
That's double strength. It's double strength as well.
I bet. Matt's here with us. We ain't spoke for a few weeks. Things haven't got better. 0-6. 007. 007 is potentially on its way.
Mate, I told everyone about this, Terry. I said to everyone, Lampard will make us worse. Lampard will make us a relegating team. They'll make us look like, a Crystal Palace. They'll make us look like a bottom 6 team. Like, this is not Chelsea. And fans accepting, like, I understand, it's all jokes and banter, but accepting, 1 goal from being scored and they're celebrating positives on Twitter, it's just an absolute embarrassment. Frank Lampard is a disgrace to this football club. He's ruined his legacy by coming as a manager in the second term. Now, I understand, we're in the middle of the season, he came and supported us. I couldn't care what it is. I'm sorry, we should have stuck with Graham Potter. There was no point sacking Graham Potter for Frank Lampard. You're stacking shit for garbage. Frank Lampard has made us look worse, terrible, horrendous. The people and this is what happens when you listen to the match-going fans. I'm sorry, because the match-going fans were begging for someone like Lampard to come in because he, makes the squad motivate. He motivates his players. Mason Mount, Reece James, he's proper Charles. This is what happens when you listen to them, and look where we are. We're getting worse. Now, coming into next season, when you cure the mentality this season, how is it going to translate next season? Right? You think they're just all of a sudden going to be trying to, go for wins and everything? It starts now. You got to keep competing for every game you play for. I don't care where you are. You got to always compete. You got to always win. We're Chelsea fucking Football Club. We're not fucking Burnley. We're not fucking Bournemouth. We're Chelsea. We need to win. And getting someone like Lampard and only saying, "Oh, we only have 9 games left," is an embarrassment because we need to always win, because that foreshadows what happens the next years to come. Because you've got to keep winning. And for me, Pochettino coming in, you should have, for me, I'm sorry, you should have brought in Enrique 2 months ago. Because Enrique was someone who, for me, had a plan, he had an idea, he had a philosophy, and he wanted to come to this club. Pochettino, I don't mind the guy, whatever, it's fine. But you got to bring him in ASAP. You got to start him in the trenches so he can make his way up. You got to give managers making their own decision. Managers who know what they want and don't know. Because this guy, Todd Boehly, has no fucking clue what he wants. This guy is absolutely hopeless. I backed Todd Boehly in the summer, but he has really let me down with his mistakes. He has a lot of time to make it up. I want him to make it up for me. I want him to succeed, but he's really not helping with the decision he makes. And on this game time, I'm going to quickly say, I told everyone about Raheem Sterling. He's an absolute. I said he was finished, but I kept backing him because I want him to work out. But I said on your show, I was with Ozzy Gunnar. Me and Ozzy Gunnar were watching this the other day, and I said Sterling is finished. I would have fought for Gabriel Jesus. I would have fought for Rafinha. I would have fought for Dembele. But no, we went for finished Raheem Sterling. So it all started, about a year ago. And again, let me just recap this game quickly as well. This game overall 3-1. I'm surprised, as I said, as an Arsenal fan said, I think it should have gone 6-7-0, and that just shows the disgrace of this absolute football club. And we're losing 3-1 to Arsenal, at home. We used to be competing with these guys, man, but they're on an all different level. And our mid today was shocking. I think positioning our midfield since Lampard has came in, our midfield is absolutely all over the place. They're headless chickens. They're running left, right, center. Like no one knows what they're doing. And unfortunately, you got Thiago Silva at the back. You can't direct anyone. The guy's, I'm sorry, but the guy's lost it. I think he's lost everything to play. He has no captaincy in him, no leadership. He doesn't know how to play anymore. I think it's time to start fading him off. Kepa as well, man. Like this guy, man. You know how much I back Kepa, man. But this guy it's hard to start backing him, man. I back family, man. I back my boy Kepa, but man, he has been horrendous, man. So I think all this whole team as a general don't want to play for this club, but don't want to play for this badge. We're Chelsea Football Club. You don't play for this badge. Get the hell out of here. Honestly, get the hell out of here. I couldn't care.
I'm glad someone's got energy.
Let me say something as a neutral, because it's easy for me to talk a little bit about Chelsea. What I've seen today from Chelsea, it reminds me of that famous quote. Remember when Sir Alex once said, "If you give me Zidane and 10 pieces of wood, I'll get you the Champions League." Lampard has took this team and made 11 pieces of wood. Absolutely atrocious.
Fucking Noah's Ark, bro. Noah's Ark.
No, you could literally make Noah's Ark with that amount of wood on that pitch. They're horrible, man. You see the goals that they conceded today. There was not even a lack of numbers in the box. Every goal they conceded, they had like 6 defenders in the box, but no one is marking. And I don't want to sit here and say all these guys are terrible, because they're really not. I mean, even with Graham Potter, they had a little bit about them. You saw they had more of a structure around Graham Potter. They just lacked a little bit, of leadership and whatnot. And all the Chelsea fans who thought Lampard was going to be the solution to the end of the season because he's proper Chelsea, it just shows that you don't play football with just passion. You actually need tactics on the pitch. These players individually, we can sit here and talk about how great we think of Kante and Thiago Silva and Azpilicueta and Kovacic, but this guy Lampard has managed to put a collection of players that we all rate into like one of the worst teams I have ever seen. And like you said earlier, Terry, these guys should be happy that there's only 4 games left on the season. Because I'm sitting here, I'm trying to make of it, like, how can these guys get relegated? And unfortunately, there's not enough games. Forest needs like 9 of 12 of their last 12 points to make it outside. Because I don't see Chelsea winning any games.
You make a great point, and something that Matt said that I think I want to throw to the other Chelsea boys, foreshadowing or carrying this over to next season. I felt that it was right to get a manager, and even if he said, I want to come in the summer, offer him £500,000 a year more salary, whatever you've got to do, because you could have built up some confidence going into the summer. If you go into the summer with another 4 defeats, another 5 defeats, however many games you've got left, I know a new manager comes in with a new feel, but the emotion around that dressing room is going to be an absolute rock bottom. So now looking at this with hindsight, not going and making Nagelsmann interview, not just going out and buying him, listening to Richard Keys, listening to James Corden and bringing in Frank Lampard. I mean, these mistakes could have a ripple effect into next season as well, surely.
Terry, the thing is, it's too much hindsight, because like, at the end of the day, damn if you do, damn if you don't. If you brought someone in at Nagelsmann, everyone had been like, oh, he rushed it. He just got in another guy he needs in. And then if he brings in Lampard, which is obviously a mistake, it's like, oh, Lampard's crap. You shouldn't have brought him in. So it's like, at the same time, Lampard is definitely the wrong guy. But getting an interim was the right choice. So I don't believe, in my opinion, bringing in Nagelsmann now or forcing Enrique through the door, or even Poch, I'll give you extra money coming right this second, would have changed the outcome of the season, would have improved the players' form over the last how many months and years. It just would have been like delaying the inevitable. So for me, one set. For me, I'm just looking for a reset in summer. So yes, a big caveat is the morale and the team chemistry is going to be on the floor. But half these players, the reason why there's no chemistry, there's no morale, they don't want to be here. Or there's disputes in the change rooms. Like, we need to sort that out first before bringing in a manager to like somewhat paper over the cracks and get a few draws and wins. Like, there's still like deep.
But who dictates that, Che? The manager dictates who stays and who goes, isn't that right? Or are you thinking the owners do that?
But like, I want a proper manager. I want the proper like position to be put in place for the summer. I don't want to just get someone in just for getting him now, so we can show a bit of face and like maybe get something at the end of the season and get some mental. I'd rather just wait and like seeing someone who could reset the whole football club from like where we should have been from like last summer. That's how I see it, innit?
I get that. Winter Surfer, you feel differently.
If you got a house and you got a broken window, do you leave it 2 months to get fixed? No, you don't. You get it fixed right away. You get a manager in who knows what they're doing first of all, and starts to deal with the rot right away. You don't wait till the summer. Everyone keeps forgetting. Champions League final is June the 10th. Then there's international games. We literally have 5 or 6 weeks for pre-season, and that's not with every member of the squad. We don't know who's coming in or out. I'd rather have someone in, looking at the squad, even going to training, who's showing up. You don't bring a guy in who, when you brought him in, you say he's going to galvanise the squad, when nearly about 8 or 9 players were there when he ripped that squad apart last time in 2021. So why would you do that? That's a bad choice. I would have got the manager in, maybe not right away, but I would have certainly got them in right now, because I need this rot attacked right away. To leave it another 4 or 5 weeks, we are so lucky. We don't have 12 or 15 games there. This team shows nothing. I don't want even to sing. For me, it's a waste of time singling out 1 or 2 players who play bad. All of them, I don't care. Madueke played well, fine. I don't really care. My most annoyance today, that was not actually the game, because I knew that was going to happen. It was actually people getting excited that we were playing a back 4 and we were playing more attackers. Why would that make a difference to the game?
Clowns.
Why would that make a difference? And also, what annoys me is in our group chat, people going, "I can't believe Chelsea are this bad." Have we been mute for the past 3 months or something? So we've been telling you how bad we are. We told you from the last game how bad we are. For you to actually think that we were going to actually do anything today is madness. But I would get the manager in right away. I don't know what the issue is. Maybe they,
do you not think the biggest issue is that whoever comes in?
But this guy, I've said Terry, he's lost 31 of his last 41 games with Everton, and he's not a manager. He doesn't have the licenses.
But do you know what your biggest issue is, though? Whoever comes in has to accept the fact this is his squad. He doesn't get a choice in it because of how much money you've spent. Unless you have some major offloads, it's gonna be.
Well, I think there will be major.
That's what the manager will dictate. The manager will dictate those offloads.
There will be, but also it's just like, this is why when everybody start making predictions about top 4 and who's going to be challenging next season, for me, it's just like laughable when we don't know who's going to have what manager, what transfers they're going to bring in, what their outgoings are going to look like. And when you look at Arsenal and you look at other teams, like one of the things that they pointed out today was like how everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet. Obviously, they've been working under Arteta for enough amount of time where everything is like automatic. That doesn't come in like one preseason with the amount of players that you guys have, the players that you have to come out and all that kind of stuff. So the idea that like, and I know we'll talk about this at some point, but like where Chelsea will finish next season, I don't think Arsenal or like Man United need to be worried about Chelsea spending all this money and getting up to, and we should be worried about them. They need to worry about how to catch up with us, because that's going to take so much more time than people are making it. It's not just about spending money. No, like exactly. The manager has to get in, get his guys, figure out who he wants, who he doesn't, and then they have to start playing together. And it's not like a
I don't
5-minute process.
Yes, whoever said Chelsea, Arsenal were concerned about Chelsea. Whoever said that Chelsea were going to get top 4 next season?
Well, I see it all over my timeline. I see
there's a lot of saying that. You see that.
If you actually see Chelsea fans saying that,
hold on.
They need to review themselves, because like who in the panel?
I see it all the time. First of all, Arsenal will be the first team to challenge for the title, and will be in very little top 4 conversations. I can already see it. People are saying, "Well, Chelsea and Liverpool, you need to be worried about them." I mean, you guys will spend money. But there are teams that have stability right now under a manager, and they've been working under them. So it's going to take time. I think it's very not unrealistic that you guys make top 4, but it's not necessarily like Newcastle, Man United, Arsenal.
No one here is sat here saying top 4.
She didn't say here. She just said generally.
I'm just saying generally, not you guys, but I'm still saying like in general, even if you haven't said that, it's gonna take time, and I don't understand why people think it's just gonna be like that, and why they've waited so long to try to make a change. Like Lampard made y'all go backwards.
I get that, guys.
I told you guys in the summer about Todd Bowley. He looked messy. He didn't know what he was doing. He's kind of learning on the job, and everyone's attacking me. Even a couple of weeks ago, when I was telling I get it that you guys want to say, oh, everything he's done up until January, but he's still getting things wrong in the sense that bringing in Frank Lampard was not the right decision either. You would have been honestly better off with. I know this is laughable, but you would have been better off with Big Sam. Like, this is not even a joke. You honestly would have been better off with Big Sam. He would have got more out of this team.
We wouldn't have been better off with Big Sam.
What?
We wouldn't have been better off with Big Sam.
You would have been better off with that
Big
actual
Sam,
interim manager.
What's the difference between everyone?
Because he would have at least got you a point by now.
Let me finish. Okay. You always talk about let people finish. Let me finish. My point is, if you bring in Big Sam, he gets you an extra 6 points. Where does that leave us? In the same position, but with 2 extra positions. It doesn't make a difference. People would have hated Big Sam from the start, and there'd been no point. The whole point of Lampard is PR. And to be honest, I still ain't heard people shouting Lampard. Matt's the first person I've heard talk about Lampard legacy. The only person I've heard. Okay, he's the only one. So no one's beefing Lampard or anything.
When Rory's questioning Lampard, you know your whole club's finished.
I ain't watching.
I wouldn't take what he says.
Exactly.
Like,
I'm saying as an example of. As an example of people who fully would back Lampard.
Rory does not represent the man.
I get that. I know that. I
Rory,
understand what I'm saying.
I know what he's saying.
Rory and the Mandem. That actually could be a brilliant podcast. You know what I mean? That would be an amazing podcast.